when I'm at my house. For some odd reason, I have like this whole thing.
Well, it's easy to do it at your house.
Exactly, because like
you don't have to get anywhere.
Exactly, like doing shots. Like, yes, I'll do a shot if the answer to hey Dakota, where are you sleeping tonight is 15 feet that way.
Does
so,
it have to be 15 feet?
Camping, dude. Go out and I will get hammered camping.
Well, with that, I'm Matt Bonta.
And I'm Dakota Kimes.
The happy camper.
Yay!
Here's your copy of the movie.
Oh, there it is.
Add that to the collection.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get a little something a little bit stronger going.
Okay.
Or have a fun good time.
Fair enough.
So tell me.
You know what? If you're doing a shot, just pour me one. You know.
Do you want to try this?
Sure, I'll try whatever.
Hey, just give me 15 minutes. And I'll be right back.
Oh man.
Hot day, Dakota.
It was just fucking. We were outside and we were pulling mire, and I'm like covered in like this.
Piss.
No, not piss. It's like this stuff that they used in the 1950s to coat wire to like help it pull through pipes.
You replacing 1950s stuff?
We're removing 1950s stuff. We already did the replacement, so we were just going through and like demoing out all the old stuff, and we were at Hug High School and all those ground vaults. Rough, dude.
Well, here's the feeling good all the time.
What do they say in Russia? Yay!
They say, Tovarish.
Tovarish. I probably just said, like, I'm retarded in fucking Russian.
It's, hello.
That was surprisingly good. What is that supposed to be? Other than a shot of vodka.
Red, white, and berry. Cherry, citrus, and sweet blue raspberry.
Okay. Definitely got the cherry and the citrus.
And I've got the beers that go with it.
You and your seasonal alcohols, sir.
I like to try new things. They put new things out there. I've got a very, I think, not sensitive palate, but like I like to try different drinks. And
eclectic.
I was going to say eclectic, but it didn't feel proper.
It might not be proper. I'm not.
You're not a proper person.
I'm not. But I am a cunning linguist.
Yeah, you wish. All right, well, I'm going to start the movie here, and we can interject as we see fit.
Oh.
So there's the new sequel productions logo, animatic.
I love that.
Do you remember the old one?
No.
It's the condom full of fake blood, or it might have been water, and then the bottle rocket goes off. It's in the tutu.
And right when it pops is
and then,
sequel production.
Yeah, and there's laughing. That was the old logo.
Old logo.
And I decided to make a new one for a new generation of films.
There you go. We're moving forward.
It's
a sequel.
Out of 2 official movies, I've got 2 different logos.
There you go.
The world has only seen 2, so it's not like they knew about the sequel's logo for all the years. What are you doing? You're fucking with shit.
I'm sorry, I fucked with shit.
Are you like holding the microphone and rubbing your feet on the ground? So you're in this movie.
Yeah, briefly. I think this is my shortest cameo in a movie.
This is your only cameo in a movie, because otherwise you play parts.
That's true.
You've got decent sized roles.
Well, no, you named my character. So it wasn't just like guy 1.
Well, there wasn't anybody else named Scabs.
Scabs.
It was supposed to be like 50 guys.
That's true.
You were supposed to be 50 guys.
I am.
What happened?
Fight with the strength of 50 men.
Well, thanks for being in this movie.
Dude.
Your life is always too busy now. We can't get you in on a lead.
It just seems like it got busier. Although it didn't. It's just I've got like very selective time available.
Well, I did write you a bigger role for the next one.
And I'm excited. You've been saying that, and you said that at the movie premiere, and I was like,
No, I didn't say it at the movie premiere.
You did.
No, I said it last week.
No, you said
at your birthday.
No, you said it at the movie premiere, and then you said something else about it.
Well, I didn't have the idea at the movie premiere. I only just got the idea like 2 weeks ago.
Then maybe you text me.
Oh, yes, I texted you.
Okay.
I texted you.
I was about to say, like, my birthday was not the first that I had heard
I
about
texted
this.
all the primaries that I wanted to be in the movie.
All right.
But no one knows what it's what. Nobody knows anything.
Nobody ever knows anything.
That's
I'm
not
always
true.
on
That's
board.
not true.
I'm always on
Nobody
board.
knows anything for this one. Nobody knows what it's about.
It's about burps and farts and
I need to
and
keep
whatnot.
this thing going. I forgot.
Keep what thing going?
I need to keep Facebook going so I can see if people are like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Tell us about the world."
I'm flatulent. Oh, you gotta turn the volume though. That
It's
is-
down. It's
that
down.
is amateur hour, sir.
It's just living in the past. We're living in the
Whoa.
future here.
Oh, dude.
What did they say? I read the other day. Standing still is moving backwards.
It's true.
Because
The rotation of the Earth.
it's still
and-
going. No, like life and everything else is still going around you. Just because you're not moving forwards or moving backwards necessarily, everything's still going past you, even if you're not actively receding.
That's kind of a cool way of looking at it. Moving forward's hard though.
Moving forward is impossible to not do.
That's true.
So what's this movie about, Street Toughs?
This movie is about a little girl being taken ransom betwixt some bullshit between some bikers and some dude who was in bed with some bikers on a business deal.
I guess that's close enough. And what do you do in this movie?
I attempt to beat up Corey's character and end up getting my ass whooped. Pretty epically. And then I catch a hatchet to the balls.
How did you feel about that?
You win some, you lose
You
some. I
just
don't
show
know.
up and was
Yeah.
like, "What do you want me to do? Where do you want me?"
Exactly. I'm here to stand around and look pretty.
I'm like, "Take your clothes off."
You, full frontal nudity. Like, I'm gonna have to fluff first.
Rock a helicopter. I'm just gonna set the
Bird,
tripod
fight,
up.
big boy. To impress a chick, do the helicopter dick.
Is that a song?
That's a song.
What song is that?
The Lonely Island.
Of course it is.
And I can't remember what song it is.
I don't think I've heard that one. I'm going in for round 2.
Oh my god, I can't do round 2. I'm already feeling round 1.
You know, I was just thinking about this the other day when I was at your birthday party. I don't think I've ever met your mom before.
She's less in the picture.
Because, like, you have a stepmom?
Yes. Kathy. You've met Kathy before.
Right. And so that's who I've been thinking was your mom.
No.
No, I understand. I understand.
Wrong, sir.
No, I get it.
That's my Kathy.
Did we introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Welcome
It
to
was kinda
NPR.
early 'cause
We have here with us today, number 1 best New York Times bestseller, J.D. Salinger.
Hello, I'm J.D. Salinger. I wrote a book that sold a lot of copies. Now people want to talk to me all of a sudden. Sat in Starbucks for 2 years and no one said a word.
Do you know who J.D. Salinger is?
No.
Did you ever read Catcher in the Rye?
Oh, I've heard of it. Never
Yeah.
read Catcher in the Rye.
So, Dakota, what are you listening to now?
Music-wise?
Yes. What's in
Um,
your CD player? What's in your Victrola?
What 8-track do you have plugged into the dash of your car? Yeah, no. I've been vacillating between a lot more punk rock. I feel like we're in a politically volatile time,
So you feel like...
and I just feel like angsty, and it. And
I don't want to be an American idiot.
No, wrong, super wrong. I've been going back through and listening to a lot of Bad Religion and Pennywise. Shit.
Some old, like, 90s shit?
Yeah, some like old 90s punk.
I don't want to be an
And
American
then
idiot.
I've still been stuck on going through, and I try and make it a goal to go through and listen to like the entire album anthology of like these classic rock bands and like
so you're not just bands. The gold album greatest hits.
Exactly, and
you listen to the deep tracks.
Exactly. The night before my birthday, I actually went out and Pink Floyd was one of the first bands that I did.
You went down to the record store?
No,
Mirabelli's?
No, I went down to Fleischmann Planetarium and watched the...
You know, I've been wanting to do like a laser rock show, right?
Dude, it is so much better than you think it would be. And
no, it sounds great.
It's a projector that projects. It's 180 degrees of projection. It's on a dome, and it's so cool.
So what was it, like Led Zeppelin?
No, it was
Pink Floyd.
It was Pink Floyd's The Wall. So beginning to end of the album of The Wall.
And what are they like?
If
you ever get high,
there were some times that like there were
pass that acid over here.
I did think about that. I was like, I need to take acid and go watch one of these.
So you went last Friday?
Last Friday.
By yourself?
No, I went with my mom. Her she's got. It's this really weird situation where like. My mom is obviously dating someone, and then you're like, hey,
here's Uncle Frank.
Is that your boyfriend? Like, no. Hell no, that's not my boyfriend. You're like,
this is my brother.
I'm pretty sure I watched you guys kiss. Like, I saw that. I'm not an idiot. It's like your 13-year-old daughter, like, hey, is that your boyfriend that was just kissing you?
This is just my friend.
That's my friend that you can't meet.
My gay friend.
It's my gay friend. We make out sometimes. Just to practice. But can you hear yourself laughing in the headphones? And that's why you're like, oh my God, that's loud.
I can't, but I know that I have a loud laugh. Okay. So you went with your mom and her
Danny,
friend.
Yes. Guy, her dude, Danny. Danny's
some guy that was
cool.
Sitting at the bus stop.
I love Danny. And I've known Danny, like, actually, oddly enough, we do, like, one night a week, we do dinner.
Right.
And how I met Danny, I had known about Danny for, like, a long time. She's talking about her friend Danny, and, like, she spent a lot of time with Danny.
Sure.
And,
her gay friend.
Her gay friend
This
Danny.
is your new gay uncle.
And the straightest dude ever walks in the door right when we're in the middle of dinner, and he stops, like, mid-stride, like, oh, hello, everyone, I'm Danny.
Oh, shit.
And my mom has just, like, that, like, you are so fucked look on your face. And then irregularly throughout the next year and some change, throughout the next year and some change, he proceeds to, like, show up more and,
So he walked into the house while you guys were having dinner one of your
regular
dinners.
Yeah, assuming
because this is obviously
there.
His regular activity is like he's kind of
a
live-in boyfriend.
Yes, he lived there. He had knee surgery and he lived there. He like hurt his knee at work and workman's comp was taking forever to pay out and he lived there. Either way, he's a super cool guy. But went with both of them and my sister-in-law kind of person. It's my brother's girlfriend, but they've been together for like 5 years, and
you could have just said your brother's girlfriend.
But it's like,
was your brother there?
I feel weird. Like we're at this point now where with Morgan being around, it's like
Morgan is his girlfriend.
No, Morgan is my daughter.
Oh, that's right.
No, you met her.
Okay, okay. Your brother is Kagan.
My brother is Kagan.
And his girlfriend is?
Raylene.
Okay, so go on.
So, Raylene is like Aunt Raylene.
Okay.
And now, regardless of what happens with Kagan and Raylene, that's Aunt Raylene to my daughter. And if she decides to no longer be in the picture and we run into her somewhere...
But it's not like your daughter's old enough to have recognizance of a sentient being.
I feel like it's crucial to establish these things before.
So if they break up and she takes off tomorrow,
that's Aunt Raylene.
Really,
dude. And I have to view this like very stringently.
But what if your brother's like, no, fuck me, that bitch. No, she's done.
No, and
don't talk to her.
And I had that talk with him before. It was like, hey, dude, is it cool if like she's Aunt Raylene? And he's like, yeah, totally. I was like, you understand what this means, correct? This means that
you're together forever.
Yes. Anyways, they found out like 2-3 weeks after Morgan was born that they're pregnant.
Oh, so
And I
she's
found out-
okay.
And I found,
No, that changes everything.
See?
That changes everything.
Like, that's your cousin, and that's Raylene, her mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's everything's a little weird. But anyways, Raylene was there.
So she's pregnant then. That chick is pregnant.
Yeah.
Like what? A month?
3 months. They found out when she was 2 months. But yeah, they just found out that they're having a baby boy, and I'm so fucking stoked, dude. So excited. But anyways, the Pink Floyd laser light show
This is okay. You went with
my mom.
Let's get the lineup again.
Danny, my wife, Raylene,
Okay.
and myself.
Okay. Where was your? He's never around.
He works nights. He's a bartender at the Peppermill, and
Which bar? Is
he's
there only one bar?
no. He's typically at the Terrace Lounge, but he's also what's called a mixologist. So he spends 2 days
That's
a
a
week.
fancy way of saying bartender. Oh, here we go.
He spends 2 days out of 5. He works 5 days a week. He works Friday, Saturday, and
At Peppermill.
and Wednesday night. He always works nights on Wednesday, but he works Wednesday, Friday, Saturday
That's 3.
in the bar.
Okay.
And
Terrace
he-
Lounge.
And he moves from different bar to bar.
Okay.
Basically on like an as needed basis. And then the other 2 days a week he spends in it's like a giant room that they have off of the kitchen, coming up with summer menus for so we want some summery drinks for the steakhouse.
So
And
he
these ones go to the
spends
steakhouse.
time, like-
these ones go to this bar, these ones go to this bar.
Is he like a manager or something?
That's kind of, yeah. He and this other girl are the two mixologists for the Peppermill, and they come up with all the drink menus and all the specialty menus, and they do all the batch work for like conventions or like large business meetings that they have in the ballrooms.
Yeah.
They do all of
Banquets.
that. Banquets. That's it. Yeah. So, anyways,
So he works.
he works pretty much exclusively in the evening, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but you know, I do get to see him. He has Sundays off, so I get to see him most Sundays. And like Saturday morning, I went to breakfast with him before he went to work, and I got to spend part of my birthday with my brother. I don't know. I love my brother. Anyways, Pink Floyd Laser Light Show.
Dakota, fuck
you
your
need
brother.
to go. Yeah, don't fucking say that, motherfucker. But
I don't remember seeing him at the Street Toughs. Clearly he works.
he worked, dude. But
Okay. Pink Floyd Laser Light Show, Planetarium.
Floyd
How much
Laser-
did it cost?
$8. It is
$8.
worth absolutely every penny, and they
You would have
rotate-
paid $9.
I would have paid like 15, 20, dude. It was so rad.
All right.
But they rotate albums, and the wall. If you ever listen to a Pink Floyd album, there's all
So like
this
tonight's
weird,
The Wall, tomorrow is.
No, they do it once a week. It's Friday nights.
Okay, so this Friday it's The Wall, next Friday
And
it's.
I don't know if they rotate albums weekly or if they do it monthly.
Okay, so this month is
The
The
Wall.
Wall, next month is.
Yes, Dark Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the
Animals, You know.
Okay.
A whole bunch of stuff. Pink Floyd has way more albums than I initially thought they did.
All
But-
those bands, dude. All those. Queen's got like 1,000,000 fucking albums.
So you have to be careful where you get into like, oh, this one's like a greatest hits collective of like this era, and then bands that go on for multiple eras, they have different greatest hits from different eras.
Sure.
And so like to
Volume 1.
like, this one was released on this date in 1976. This one was released in 1969. Those are the ones that you want to look for.
Sure.
Is like this album was released as an album.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go through and you listen, and it's this way with any Pink Floyd album that I've listened to, they have these interludes where random sounds are kind of mixed together and
Like
things
that song,
but-
On the Run. Is it On the Run?
Band on the Run by
No.
the Beatles.
No. Pink Floyd. They've got a song. Well, I know that, like... So, did I ever let you watch Cowboy Bebop, or have you watched Cowboy
No.
Bebop? They put...
Did I ever let you? You're not allowed.
Well, I mean, like...
Prepare to be shot.
I loan out a lot of stuff, and you've
Yeah,
borrowed
absolutely.
a lot of shit from
Totally.
me. But,
I'll still never forget you for forgive you for Mulholland Drive.
that's another episode. That's another episode.
Or that's a past episode. I think we've already had that conversation.
But they grab like a lot of music and kind of copy it, I guess. It's really weird. I don't know how to say it. But the band that they got to do the music for Cowboy Bebop, the anime TV show, they kind of copy the music. and there's a song On the Run. And I think it's on the Dark Side of the Moon. And it's kind of just like noise almost.
There's a lot of that on a lot of their albums. I'm not familiar with the specific track that you're
talking about. Sure.
But like, I don't know. I got stuck on when I found out that Nicole was pregnant, and I was 10 years out of high school, and there's specific lines. There's specific lines in that song that like refer to that number 10 as like a milestone.
You're talking about the Beatles, right? Number 9.
No, dude.
Number 9.
Dude. But it's
number
like
9.
that. It's a lot of that same style where it's they do those crazy interludes. But it's
Pink
a song
Floyd, the
called
British band, right?
Yes, it's a song called Time, and it's just all about like how time will continue to pass, and like you can try and hold on to it, but it's futile, and eventually you get old and you die, and you lose interest in things that you were so passionate about, and time just continues to go on and go on.
Absolutely, and standing still is moving backwards.
Yeah, bam, full circle. End of the episode.
Thank you.
But Pink Floyd with the visuals that they were able to provide, and again, it's not just like crazy visuals and like random moving objects. They kind of
at the planetarium.
They take a lot of the like the overall meaning of what the album's supposed to mean and why certain songs exist and certain things, and they provide graphics.
It's a laser light show, correct?
No,
it's not.
It's a projection. So like there's certain scenes to certain songs where
you're
like
in those seats and you're looking up at the dome.
Yes, and there are certain scenes for certain songs that like planes are flying over and
so they're showing video clips.
And like no, it's not a video clip. It's like a created graphic.
Okay.
It's so fucking cool, dude. It is like way more than I thought.
And it's the whole album.
It's the
entire
every
Friday,
album, start to finish.
Clearly, I can't go this Friday.
8:00.
Since I'm going to your place this Friday.
Yeah, Mahjong, dude. Or we can just change the thing and go.
No, Mahjong's fine. But I do want to hit like a laser light show. Not necessarily Pink Floyd, but if that's all they do, I'll go to a Pink Floyd.
I think that's all that they do. But I would love to see, like, it was just...
a Journey or a fucking...
I'm a big...
Queen.
I'm a big person of... And, like, why... Really listening to various metal albums have a lot of... Like, take a lot of this same thing. And I always view, like... These
Will you
artists
hit that
go
off
through...
button over there? The middle one down? Right there, yeah.
Oh, don't heat. But, artists go through and create an album for a reason, and some artists just arrange the different songs arbitrarily, and they don't have any significant meaning,
right?
And there's no overlying tone or
it's just like we wrote this song,
message.
then we wrote this song, then we wrote
it's like
this song.
To me, listening to an album start to finish in the right order by a well-rounded artist or collective of artists, if you're talking about a band, but is almost like watching a movie.
Sure.
You can go through and watch individual scenes, and it can be great, and it can be gripping, and that scene is amazing, but you gain so much more from seeing the whole thing, and it's almost just like watching like a bad director or a bad writer. Like there are bad directors and writers out there in the music world. And bad movies. But there are some, and you can't always explain why. They're just so gripping, and so... The overall message that you take away from listening to that is a whole different thing. And
so you got something... Okay, The Wall.
The Wall, just having the visuals to... Especially in the moments where like you're listening to those random noises and you're trying to piece together in your head, like without the visuals... What would be going on here? And then giving a visual format to that is so cool. It was so cool.
So it was about like an hour long, however long the album is.
Yeah. Start to finish on the album. And it was worth every penny.
$8.
$8. Dude, yes.
800 pennies.
For me, Dark Side of the Moon is my favorite Pink Floyd album.
Right, but you watched The Wall.
I watched The Wall, which is good, but Pink Floyd...
What's on The Wall? What are the hits? Let's look it up.
The Wall. Hey, teachers.
That's another brick in the wall. Like, I've never seen that movie. They made a movie.
No, it's just another brick in the wall. It's
11th album by English rock band Pink Floyd.
hey,
Hey-o.
Wikipedia.
They've got to have a list of the hits, right? What's this? Here, let's. Oops. Anyways, let's see here. So it says radio silence. There's there's a lot of information here. I'm just trying to look for like a track listing. Here we go.
Then just type in track list.
No, it's right here.
Oh, okay.
There's only like 6 songs on this album.
But a lot of them are blended together, and when you listen to the album, like I said, that Pink Floyd does these like big transitions, and then they get into the song, and then they transition out, and all of these noises like lead your thought into the subject of the next song. If you like, I don't know,
there's only like one song. Like, it said it's only like a 20-minute album. Were you there for only like half an hour?
No.
Side 1. Okay, side 2 is another 20 minutes. Side 3. Okay, so it's got 4 sides. So this is like it was like a 2-record album. So there's a lot more going on here. Okay, I see. Yeah, so this is like it's like an hour and 20 minutes.
No, it wasn't an hour.
No, it was an hour and 20 minutes?
It was a little over an hour, but...
So, you've got Another Brick in the Wall. And Nothing I've... Comfortably Numb? I didn't know that they did that song. I didn't know that was one of theirs. And Nothing Else I've Ever Heard of. Goodbye, Blue Sky. Anyways, go on.
I don't know. I felt like... There are not many, actually, not that I can think of, there are no movies that are designed to enhance an album. Like...
So a movie for...
That like that, where it's like start to finish of an album, and the visuals that they provide were super concurrent from what I took away from that album. And they wrote this about the Vietnam War. It was released in 1968?
It says...
69?
79.
79, oh my god.
It was released as a double album on November 3rd, 1979. Despite an initially mixed critical reaction, The Wall peaked at number 3 on the UK and topped the US Billboard 200 for 15 weeks. In 82, it was adapted into a feature film of the same name, which I have never seen. Can you name the band members?
I just know Roger Waters.
Right. So yeah, 79.
But it's a commentary about war is the biggest thing that you take away from it, and how it starts as children and these. Well,
it even says right here, Waters' song "Another Brick in the Wall" Part 2 became the band's first and only chart topper when released as the album's lead single. So, 2 songs co-written by guitarist David Gilmour, "Run Like Hell" and "Comfortably Numb," were also issued as singles. Go ahead.
Either way, what you take, or at least what I take away from the album, is that we are being systematically brainwashed into a war culture, and to believe that war is good, and
do you think so?
I
really think so?
I truly think so, and I think that where it's getting difficult now is that
there's no war.
How long have we listened to that we are on the brink of another war and the brink of another world war? And this goes back beyond.
I mean, we've talked about it on previous episodes. Last few times you were here, we talked about. Did we talk about Korea? Was it Korea?
Yeah.
No. We talked about the dude getting thrown off the airplane, but wasn't there also a war because no. Who did we just bomb? Like
Syria?
Months ago. Syria? Was it Syria? That's who we were on. And then nothing happened from that, did it? Did anything come of that? Like, they
were,
bombed themselves, and we bombed them because of it.
We bombed the Assad regime, which is the ruling party of Syria.
And nothing came from that. I mean,
No.
I'm going to sound fucking stupid and ignorant because I didn't follow it. I'm sure something did happen, action, reaction. But, like, we are not in a war.
We're not in an active war, but we believe that it's okay for us to reach our long hand across the world and dictate what other people can do. And we genuinely believe that that's okay.
Sure, they say that America's like the world police, right? Like Team America, world police.
Yes.
But I mean, that's the joke and everything. But that movie was about America considers themselves the world police.
But what I again getting back to the album, I think that what that album is about on both sides that war is wrong. If you
war
look at the
is
conflict in
wrong.
Syria.
But I mean,
shouldn't
war
have come
happens
to that.
because somebody feels like
They're the shit, and that they need
Yes.
to rule, and that they need to stand above everyone else, and it's wrong.
And we kind of come in and like,
we,
no.
we as a society placate that.
When
And
we say
placate
we,
that.
we're talking about America, right?
Yes, we
As
placate-
Americans.
Yes, we placate that on our level. We placate that by going to war for these people and going to war for the wrong reasons, and I always.
And you say wrong reason. You're a liberal, aren't you?
No. Wrong. I was driving. Okay, so.
Hold on, wait. Before we go, so you say you're not a liberal. Do you consider yourself a conservative?
No.
Okay, what about your dad?
Neither.
Really?
That's where I learned.
What
that.
about your mom?
My mom is liberal.
Okay, and your. I know that you don't have all your grandparents, but your grandparents above your, like, let's say your
I
dad.
have no.
Probably conservative.
I have no relationship with any of them.
Probably conservative because they came from a time where it was like conservative is
And
the
here's-
majority.
Here's where I have a problem with getting into those labels. Is because people label themselves that and like, oh, well, this is conservative. Yeah, that's what I believe. Nah. Like, you don't look into how does that make you feel? How does that, like, how would you feel if you were one of these people? And
Right, there's a gray
where it
line.
comes,
There's a
where
gray
it comes
line.
to certain things, I find myself enormously conservative, and I find myself enormously liberal in other ways, and the collective of all of that is me. That's my political. That's my political out view, and
I'm conservative over here, but I'm liberal over here.
exactly. And
Did you vote in this election?
yes, it did. Gary Johnson.
Yes, you and me. Fist bump.
I just, for me, it just seems better to rule on, or to, the presidents do rule, and the overlying government rules. It's a collective of people rather than one king, and that's
So they say.
That's really the only difference, and we can get.
That's
into
why George
conspiracy theories.
Washington didn't become a president.
I am
or
banned,
become a king.
I am banned at my house from watching political documentaries.
Are you saying
And
Nicole says?
conspiracy documentaries, dude. I won't sleep. I'll go days without sleep. I'll
I know
stay up
you.
till
I
like
know
4:30
you.
in the morning, and then wake up at 6. I'm like, okay, time to go to work, and then do the same thing, and I'll do it for weeks on end. And I just like binge watch it, and I just even after the.
Did you ever watch
the
that?
movies ended, I try and like distract myself in other ways. And
Like
it doesn't
Fahrenheit
work.
9/11.
Yes, those conspiracy
Inconvenient
movies.
Truth. Did you ever watch Loose Change?
No, not Loose Change.
Loose Change is like the conspiracy about 9/11. Like
Well, Fahrenheit 9/11 was a conspiracy.
no, I wouldn't say it's conspiracy theory. That was kind of like a anti-Bush documentary. But Loose Change was about the conspiracy behind what really happened during 9/11, like beyond the planes hitting
Yeah, what would
two
have
towers,
needed
but
to
like the
happen for
Pentagon,
that
what
to
happened
happen?
to the Pentagon, like
Yeah.
a missile hitting the Pentagon rather than like whatever it is.
Yeah, and
It's getting heated in here.
it's hard not. It's hard not to like. I try and maintain an open mind about things, and like I try not to be very stringent. I'm like, nope, this is the way that it is, and you're fucking wrong. So when I watch movies like that, it's like, oh my god, like
What have you watched recently?
I'm not allowed to. I don't even go there. The last one that I watched was about the refugee crisis in Syria. And
we're talking about History Channel, or do you have cable?
No.
You talking about Netflix documentaries?
Netflix and HBO. HBO.
Why don't you go watch the Glow documentary about the glorious ladies of wrestling?
Wrong.
Watch some fun stuff.
No.
Like Hiro enjoys sushi, or Hiro loves sushi, whichever it is.
I don't know.
Go watch some fun.
Enjoys sushi. He vehemently enjoys sushi.
No, there's a Hiro
loves
loves
a very
sushi.
strong word. Let's not use that.
What about Freakonomics? Did you watch Freakonomics?
No.
I don't even know if it's on there anymore. But Freakonomics is one of those bullshit versus real shit kind of.
This is something that I take.
Didn't you read that book? No.
Which book?
Freakonomics.
No.
It was a book, and then they did 4 sections of that book into a documentary.
Oh, okay.
About various different things, this is real shit that's going on. Check it out. Which I think is what documentaries really are.
Yeah, but it's also hard not to.
Documentaries are so fucked up because it's one side.
Exactly, and it's one side and one view of an argument, and it's hard not to come to those conclusions.
This is right.
Yeah, this is that movie. Everything is that.
I'm a vegetarian. I'm a meat eater.
Oh God.
Fuck the gays. Fuck the Jews.
Fuck the gay Jews.
It's true. It's like watching an infomercial. We need to buy this.
Yeah.
We can roast a chicken in 2 minutes, and then
set it and then forget it. I forget everything.
But wait, there's more.
But either way, this is something that I took from watching or listening to a lot of going through and listening to older albums.
Okay. Let's get back to on track.
No, these viewpoints have been around for so long, and you look at the amount of or how accessible.
Well, all those bands came out of the fucking Vietnam War.
And I think, in my personal opinion, what was unique about the Vietnam War is that it's the first war that you got to see human suffering.
Well, I mean, it's the first war. They didn't call it the World War, because it was a Vietnamese war. It was Vietnam North versus South, right? And we decided to get in there thinking that we were badasses, and we kind of lost it.
And that's, again, if you look at the whole premise of why we were there.
We've joined wars before and won. Why not this one?
We were there to thwart communism. But you look at 2 of the largest countries, the Soviet Union,
which is no longer, there is no USSR anymore.
It was disbanded at the end of the Cold War because it
failed. But
also
China and Cuba.
These are enormous communist regimes that we didn't go and fight in that way. It wasn't to me. It's weird to think that communism's wrong, and that guy's got a bigger stick than we do.
It's
or
so
he's got
fucked up, right?
A big enough stick to where we can we'll probably get fucked up.
Why can't they go do what they want? They're not part of America.
And I think that
now I sound like a fucking anti-American.
No, I'm not anti-American.
I'm not saying you are, and I'm not saying I am either.
No, and I don't view that statement as anti-American. It's people are allowed to go through and dictate how their lives will be.
Right. If you want to be a communist, go to Cuba. Go to China.
Exactly.
Those are the only communist countries, right? South Korea? North Korea.
Shit. I'm sure there's
those are the biggies. Those are the biggies.
All of those. Yeah, those are the big ones. But I just... And if you look
other countries are democracies.
Today, I drove by, and I'm in the car with this kid who started last Thursday, and he's 18 years old. Literally, he's 18.
Okay, so 10 years older.
Yep. 11 years
older. A decade
older.
Between you, sure. I've got a couple 11-year-old between his friends.
But where I saw... We're driving away.
From work.
and we're at Hug High School. We're pulling all that gross ass wire. We're leaving Hug High School, and there is a line, probably 50, 60 people in line for the food bank.
Where's the food bank at?
It pulls up, and it's a truck, and they offload things. And again,
At Hug?
At Hug. And this truck goes around to different areas and drops off food for people, and these people are standing in line for food. And I again, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with the existence of that, but the existence of that is inherently communist.
Hold on a second. Can we pause?
All right.
Hold that. This is the part where you show up in the movie.
Oh, yeah. About to get my ass beat.
So what was this day like for you?
I don't know.
Cool. You don't even remember?
Yeah. I remember wearing that tiny ass vest.
I don't even remember thinking like, hey Dakota, we need you to come in and do something. I honestly don't remember what it was that brought me into, like, I know we needed people. It's like, okay, Dakota hasn't been in this movie yet.
Time for a cameo.
So I know you guys have a fight scene coming up. What was that like?
I only shot for 2 days. Corey was probably my favorite person to do a fight scene with, because I think that he's not about his ego, and he's not about like he wants to make it look real, and whatever we can do to do that. It's nothing beyond that. Other people, yeah, look at that hair. Dude.
I just fucking came from there. Oh shit. Is that your knife or is that Corey's knife?
That was my knife.
He gives you a knee to the stomach. You picked out the clown mask for your scab prospect mask. So you're not an official biker gang member. He punches you a couple of times.
See, it looks good, but he's not like, I don't know, it's not like an overly, I don't know. I think about the whole thing with Mike.
Oh, when you fought Mike in our backyard.
Yeah, dude. Like,
and you fucked up your shoulder
again. That was
again.
over the top. Like,
from Mike's point of view.
From Mike's point of view, like, it was like, okay, we're going to do this, so yeah.
There are a lot of people that tend to, like, overcomplicate things.
Exactly. And there's no need for that. It's just not good. It's not good for the movie. It's not good for the people involved.
They like this.
There's a level of
there's like a big
quote,
like less is more.
Yes.
You don't need to go overboard. Just kind of like get the point across.
Exactly. But none of that fight scene looks like.
Right. There's not like fucking no Jackie Chan shit.
Exactly. It's not over the top. It's not.
Corey's not a martial arts expert. You're not going through tables.
Yeah.
There's not a huge fucking gunfight.
I don't know. It was a good experience. I like working with Corey. I like Corey a lot. He's a really, really cool
This is the only time you worked with Corey, though, right?
No.
No. He did the
he
your
did
guts.
The special effects when we were out at Honey Lake, out towards Susanville, when we drove out to that rest stop.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you know
yes,
a specific name that I'm not aware of. Yeah, when we went to
the
the
rest
bed
stop. Right behind that rest stop, Honey Lake.
Yeah, he went out there and did your guts and your neck cut scene.
Yes, and then I believe we filmed in his garage for that same movie.
No, for this movie.
That I know that we did that, but I believe we also filmed in his garage. No,
this one. It's coming up.
Oh,
so let's go back to the food truck.
Anyways, the existence of food trucks is inherently communist, and I'm a big believer that.
Whoa, hold on. Where do you get that? No, you. The inherently communist thing. In what way? Don't just drop that without fucking explaining yourself.
What the existence of the food bank is.
Because you and I don't do anything with food bank, right?
No. But the existence of communist ideals, and you look at any social programs, they are inherently communist. And what social programs are programs to pay for the weak or the poor,
mm-hmm.
and to raise them up off of the backs of the people who are producing.
Are we paying for food banks? Or do our taxes go towards food bank salaries
and donations?
Okay. I mean, I know that where I work, we do a lot of food bank donation stuff.
Absolutely. And again, I don't disagree with the existence of food banks.
There
I'm
are people who deserve and need that and don't necessarily aren't as well off.
We should be I believe in social safety nets. I believe that they should exist. I believe that they are good. I genuinely believe that. But I think that we have stigmatized the word communist to where when somebody's like, oh, that's communist, they're like, what? What the fuck did you say that for?
Well, when we say communist, what it literally means is everyone's equal, right?
Communal. It's a communal thing. When somebody is weak in your community, you go and you help them out. You help
to be on an equal plane.
Yes.
To bring them up to everyone else's
take
level.
From what you're making, and you go and you help other people. And everyone does that. It's a communist society.
Communal. Okay, there we go. Okay.
So, where I'm going with this is that
no, what you were talking about was the dude in the car with you.
I said that, and he had a very similar reaction.
So you told this guy that's communist.
Yes.
And he said,
like, what the fuck do you mean?
Drop me off here.
No, I substantiated my claim. It's inherently communist. It is communist to give homeless people money. Mm-hmm. They're not doing anything, and you gave them money
to kind of bring them up closer to us.
You took away from what you have, rather than buying into the idea that we are a strictly capitalist society, and that's what we like to. Oh, capitalism works, and yes, yeah, capitalism. China, a communist society, has enacted and has allowed capitalist ideals into their society, and they are thriving because of it. So what I'm saying is, any time that you find yourself, and this goes with any time that you find yourself between two polar extremes of labels, capitalist and communist. Liberal and conservative. Where does the right answer lie?
There is no right answer.
The right answer lies somewhere in the middle.
Right.
Always.
Right.
Always.
There's always a middle. Not everyone likes the same shit. Not everyone agrees with the same shit.
You can find a middle ground.
Everybody fits into the circle like a Venn diagram. Everyone fits in that middle vagina.
I feel like if people got over the idea of controlling other people, that we would benefit hugely, enormously.
But that's a tall order.
Yes. It's something that's inherently
because
human.
You fall into that groove too easily. And,
exactly.
And you get going, and you think, whoa, hold on, wait a second, I'm sorry. Let me pull this back a little bit. I was being a little bit out of control.
And I don't think that that like maintenance of a middle ground is possible. You look at kings that were raised up from nothing throughout history.
Sure.
And he's a king of the people, but his fucking son comes out and he's a little shithead.
Right.
Why? Because he was raised
as a king,
exalted above everyone else. He is above everyone else. And he might take a lot of those lessons. Do not sit. But he's above everyone else, and that's all that he learns. And he might take a lot of those lessons from his father, but the following generations is worse off and worse off and worse off. And I feel like that's what's happening with our society. And you're looking at generations of people who existed in power, and that's attainable. So if somebody wanted to go and get that power, you have politicians whose job it is.
Don't even get me started on
career politicians.
Absolutely.
What happened was, our founding fathers did not take salaries from the government. They were not career politicians. They
set a standard.
They set a standard, and generation by generation by generation by generation, further and further out that you get away from that, we have gotten further away from that.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely. We are not.
It's not a paying job. If you are here directly for the people, and you have nothing else to take away from that, it is charity. Come here. What the heck was that? Oreo, dude, you are a beast. Standing up.
We just had an incident.
Yeah, we just had an incident. I
You're
think
okay.
Penny was getting weird, and then Oreo was having enough of that, dude.
Oreo, it's okay.
Everything's good, dude. Let's chill. Let's bring it down a notch. I know this conversation's heated, but you don't need to be taking any of that energy. Anyways,
Feel inside.
I just think that it's inherently human to seek out power. And I think that the instant that we can find ourselves getting over that, and we as a country, people who are power hungry rise to the top, and they find their way, and they as a collective want to go and extend their reach of power, and it's just bad. It's bad when somebody can
I
get
agree.
over their
I agree.
thirst for power. And where does that leave us? We take care of the weak, but we stand on the backs of the strong. That is somewhere between.
Yes.
That is somewhere between capitalism, because we need to give incentive to the strong for them to climb. But we also need to take care of those who can't.
Sure.
That is communism.
But not everyone feels the same way, that we need to take care of those who can't.
Wanna
But
know
not
why?
everyone
You
can.
wanna know why?
Not everyone can.
Exactly. Not everybody understands that. Not everybody understands that. Oh, remove social safety nets. Do you have any idea what that would do? When those people can't feed their families anymore, what are they going to do?
So
They're
we
gonna
need,
go
we
and they're
need
gonna
to
take from
find
you.
a nice even keel between capitalism and between communism.
Yes.
So that
And again,
we can kind of
communist-
help bring the people who can't make it up
Large-
to our level.
large-scale communist societies, there's one that I can think of. It's China.
Mhm.
And what are they doing? They're adapting communist principles. Or
Well,
capitalist principles.
I'm not familiar with what they're doing.
They've allowed people to make different amounts of money and allowed to engage in capitalism, and that's why cities are booming, is because that's where all the good paying jobs are. People who work harder are able to buy nicer cars and buy nicer homes. And it wasn't always that way, because that's not communist. Everyone gets the same thing, and everyone gives what they can,
In China.
and they take the same amount, no matter what they give. Where's your incentive to grow? Where's your incentive to innovate? Where's your incentive to go and work 60 hours a week, working and slaving away to better yourself?
Sure,
That's
sure,
why
sure.
you do those things. That's why capitalism works. It plays off of basic human emotions to be in the tallest tree, to be at the pinnacle of existence for whatever it is that you can. It's good. It's a vehicle for growth. It's a vehicle for advancement.
So you're saying that you're a communist?
Yes, I guess. To some
No.
degree.
Like okay. So it's not necessarily pro-communist. It's pro-adaptation. It's pro-moving forward. It's pro-understanding that
Anytime,
not everything is the right decision.
anytime that you decide to wear a label, you short
I'm
yourself.
all about labels.
You
Don't
short,
even fucking-
you short yourself the opportunity to exist in somewhere that is uniquely you.
It's easier for me.
Appeal to reason. That's the way that the world should work.
It's
Is what is
easier for me
reasonable.
to hit a label, but understanding that the label can change. Does that make sense?
But when you attempt to wear that label, other people assume these things about you, and
It's hard not to, though.
It's hard not to. But I have a very similar conversation
But I
to
mean,
this.
but we can have multiple labels. I like the color blue.
You find yourself there are diametrically
But as you move
opposing labels.
forward, you shift
If there is-
labels.
there is conservative and there is liberal, and when you are asked, are you a conservative or a liberal, is there another option somewhere in between there?
Sure, there's not like a
rather than
morphing
to say-
option.
rather than to say, are you, I exist in the middle, and then people are like, what the fuck does that mean? And if they're
It's
capitalist,
true.
it must be a liberal. He just doesn't want to say yes because he has no balls.
Right,
I'm a
so the
and I asked you
liberal is
that
the
question.
negative,
He's gonna
conservative
assume-
is the
he's
positive.
He's going to assume the opposite.
Right.
Are you a communist or a capitalist?
Are you a fuckface?
Yeah.
Or not?
Are you a shithead or a really nice
guy?
Are
you yes or are you no?
In between.
Sure.
And I think that people don't take that understanding into everything.
I think they do, but I think it's hard.
There's
it's hard to
pressure
not
to adhere to one
stand
side.
on a certain
how many times? Again, I used every opportunity this last election to advocate for Gary Johnson.
Sure.
And
I mean,
want to know what the biggest response was that I got?
He's liberal.
By far. No. By far, the largest response that I got was, I don't want to throw my vote away. So
yes.
What they do is they adhere to
they always
something.
say that if you're voting independent, you're throwing your vote away.
And I don't view it that way.
Let me ask you
I
this.
voted
Let me
for
ask
who
you
I
this real
wanted
quick.
to be in office.
Did Nicole vote?
Yes.
What did she vote?
Gary Johnson also.
Okay.
I'm very persuasive, I guess.
But did she care?
She did not care as much as I do.
So she's like, what are you doing? Okay.
I don't really know if that's it either, because we do have conversations about it. It's not like.
But it's so hard for us as just the proletariat to kind of really understand and know what the right way to vote is, because this guy represents this half of the Venn diagram, this guy represents the other half, and the middle represents shit that you like on both sides. And it's really hard to pick the right one.
If we're going to stick with the Venn diagram analogy, I truly believe that those people who exist in the middle...
Here, hold on, wait.
Pressure to polarize
Let me ask you this. If there were no other options besides Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump...
I would not have voted.
You would have just... But see, even then, if that wasn't an option, who was the lesser of two evils?
There's no correct answer to that question.
You don't want to fucking commit.
No. There's
it's really hard. No. I agree. It's really hard to commit.
I genuinely believe the reason that Donald Trump got elected is because Hillary Clinton embodied absolutely everything that was wrong with establishment politics.
So let's say that Hillary Clinton didn't get the Democratic vote. Let's say it was Bernie Sanders.
I truly believe that Bernie Sanders would have won.
He was the better choice.
Absolutely.
But we live in a world where a bunch of people kind of believe whatever they're told rather than
I think that Bernie Sanders is on that same boat. He's a career politician. He's in the pockets of, if he's not in the pockets of absolutely every corporation who comes to him, he's in the pockets of some of those corporations.
So he still has his own fucking vices.
Yes. Is what you're saying. No, there are people who are amoral. There's
we got an incident going on here. Why is
that's probably why Oreo attacked the living shit out of
Why is Penelope being all weird?
Because she's weird around.
Call her.
Why?
Call her.
Penny, come here. Penelope, come on.
I've met her before.
Come here. Hey, puppy. She's like, I know Matt.
Why is she being all weird?
Matt. I don't
because
know.
She smells like Oreo?
I have no idea. It's not a dog thing. She's cool with dogs. She, for some odd reason, with people, like new people, she's super weird.
Met her.
She's had fun with Oreo before.
She's cool with Oreo, and what, like I was saying, what I think happened was that she was doing that weird shit with Leah, and Oreo was like, no.
Oh, Oreo got all defensive.
That is my person.
Oreo got defensive.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you can go.
Penny, come here.
Go now.
Come on.
She just...
Come here,
she
girlfriend.
doesn't want to...
Penny, you're fine. Hey, sit down, girlfriend. Sit. There you go. Anyways,
This really was an NPR program.
Yeah, goddamn. Is it always like this when I get here?
I mean, no. You tend to go off on these really nice, really good fucking tangents. That's why I like having you here, is because you represent a very specific quality that a lot of people don't. Like, me and Corey get into things, and you and me get into things, and then me and whoever else get into things. But we all that's why I like having a third person, is to offer up a nice little circle rather than just A to B, A to B, A to B.
Yeah. Hey, sit down.
So, anyways, Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders, I genuinely believe, would have won. Simply because...
He would have beat out Trump.
Exactly.
But I feel like that all the
Because he's
people who
not-
voted for Trump weren't listening to what he was saying.
I don't think...
They were just like, fuck the Mexicans.
No. I think that it didn't matter what he was saying.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
again, we are in a time where I'm not the only person who has realized that these things have been going on for so long.
And when we say these things, we're talking about...
like, anti-establishment punk rock has been around since the early 80s.
Sure.
The early
Anarchy
80s.
in the UK.
The early 80s.
Sure. No.
So we
no.
have-
Hold
we
on.
have-
No. If punk represents an anti-disestablishmentarianism kind of situation, that's what America was founded on.
So, agreed. 100%. What I'm saying is, for the first time, we have generations of people raised with the idea that the government is wrong.
Right.
And the government is after you. And
Right.
the government is fucking you. And
Right.
all of these things are happening.
Right.
When else in American history has that happened?
When else has... Right at the beginning. Are you trying to say specifically the 80s?
No. What I'm talking about is that what came at the beginning? Revolution.
Yes.
We are on the brink of revolution.
Again?
And I truly believe that. But
I don't think that'll ever happen.
But you also look, the Beatles were singing about this.
Number
This
9,
feeling, this
number 9.
this feeling of revolution has been building and building, and you have.
Do you know a song specifically?
You say you want a revolution.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you know, we all want to change the world, dude. It's
Imagine
exactly. It's.
Imagine a world without troubles, without religion.
These ideas pushed and pushed and pushed, and it's almost a pyramid effect. So the reason that church attendance has been declining and all of these like very, very conservative old style things have been declining is because, so say that your Beatles listening hippies have 3 children.
Okay.
And then
So they have 3 kids in the 80s.
sure.
Okay. So like
So
your
then-
dad's a big fucking Beatles listener, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay. But the people who did listen to the Beatles, so like my grandmother listened to the Beatles, and she had my mom.
My grandma listened to Merle Haggard and all of these old country stars, and it's very conservative, and she was a big churchgoer. And what happens with these people? My grandparents,
flip.
Exactly, but they flip almost unilaterally. Unless you're finding yourself on the extremes where your parents are dropping acid and being fucking lunatics.
But your dad
all the
wasn't.
time.
Your dad was raised in.
A Pentecostal church.
He was in this. He was born in like what, 67?
70.
70. Like my mom. My mom was born in 69.
Uh-huh.
So they were raised in the 70s. So they miss
But
the
you
flower
also-
power.
But you also no. They're not directed by that. Their parents were directed by that, and you're
Their
finding
parents
this-
would have
no,
to
no,
be
no.
like 50s. They would have to
No.
be the what do you call that generation that came out of World War II?
Again, you're fixating on labels.
Okay.
And what I'm talking about.
Fuck you! I love labels.
What I'm talking about is that both of our parents were born in 1970.
Right.
But they were born into entirely different worlds. In the
And she
respect
was
that-
too.
In the respect that your grandparents were very liberal, and they were the hippies, and they were the.
Yeah, my grandmother, yes, was
Okay.
a hippie.
So.
My mom's mom.
So. She influences her children, and her children go out and influence other children, and you have. It's again. I genuinely believe
No.
that-
Check
I
this out.
genuinely
No.
believe
Check
that
this
it's
out.
an
Like
appeal
if
to
we were
reason.
very visual, which we kind of are, like you did you did it earlier when you said that it was a flip in a lateral kind of flip.
Unilaterally, one direction.
Right. So it flips and then it flips and then it kind of flips, and it's kind of like a curve that kind of almost makes its way back to where it was. Like it evens out. Like it flips and evens out a little bit.
So what evens out is society's views of those initial views. Because more and more people see things that way.
Mm-hmm.
throughout time, you get away from that generation.
It flips on the same line, and it comes back to the same line, but it flips in and out. No, you don't think so?
Unilaterally, meaning like if you draw a line vertically,
right,
one direction. Everyone flips from conservative ideals that are very exclusive and like, oh, these people are bad, and then these kids meet some of these people. Well, they're not that bad.
Sure,
it's genuine. I genuinely believe that it's an appeal to reason. You're appealing to genuine, like, hey, dude, if you think this out, you can only pretty much come to one conclusion. Seriously.
No, I agree. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
So what you're looking at is if you had 10,000 people who were like all about the flower movement and
yes,
and that ideals were ingrained in their children.
But if this movement, like the 60s movement,
let me finish.
Okay.
The ideas move down and they grow and they grow.
So from the 60s to the 70s, 70s to the 80s.
It doesn't matter what the fucking time is.
Sure.
From then to now, more people see things in that same light than the people who don't.
Okay.
Those flower power children,
yes,
it was one generation. And you had every other generation standing above them like, no, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the people who are doing that, who were doing that at that time, are dying off.
Yes.
And more people are starting to see things in that light.
No, they're starting to see things in their own light.
That's wrong.
But the light is lateral.
In that no.
Parallel. Okay, go ahead.
Again, vertical line. And if you're...
Where is that line? Where is that vertical line?
That vertical line is between conservative ideas.
We go back to the label. Yeah, no, the gray. At
that time, as defined in that time.
Which time? The 60s.
The 60s. Well, because I genuinely believe that was a big revolutionary time in,
yes, it was.
in thought.
Yes, it was.
And there were ideas that were being put out there that had not before.
Absolutely.
Throughout mass media and influencing more people than ever before.
Yes.
A lot of things now, we go throughout time and this pyramid widens and widens and widens. And more people, that gray area on that side of the line gets broader and broader. More people exist on the liberal ideas and the liberal way of looking things as defined in 1960. Where they drew that line.
Right, so the conservative is kind of leaning a little bit more towards the liberal.
And where I genuinely believe that line stems from, is trust or distrust in our governing body. It was the first time that...
But it's always been that way.
It was the first time...
So you're saying it was always trust.
Questioned it.
But the distrust...
You look at the propaganda machines...
So right when Richard Nixon became president... No. LBJ, after Kennedy was assassinated, LBJ brought in the idea of pro-Vietnam. So...
And what was that?
What was pro-Vietnam?
It's a propaganda machine. It is a media that is designed to provoke thought in a certain direction. And if you see it another way, they give you this label.
Absolutely. Like Fox News versus CNN, MSNBC.
Yes, those same polarizing ideas. Oh, liberals are doing this. Oh, conservatives are doing this today, and this is why they're fucking assholes. Like, and it's always painting someone else in a different light that is always negative, and it's always trying to elevate your moral superiority over the existence of other people.
As long as we are able to still have our own opinion and other people be okay with that.
That's not always how it looks.
It's not though, but that's the way it should be.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to NPR.
I'm devout in the belief that people should be able to do what they want.
Absolutely. I'm with you there. 100%.
Period. End of story. If you want to go and do crystal meth steady until the day that you fucking die.
As long as you're not hurting someone else.
That's the line. If you decide that you want to break into...
The line is you.
To Johnny's car, yes. And steal his stuff so that you can support your habit, we got a big problem.
You can bend the line.
And
like
why,
the line can bend.
Why shouldn't we tax the living shit out of those people that want to... Oh, you want to buy crystal meth? 25% tax, and you're paying for roads.
I think we've discussed this before about the drug thing.
I genuinely believe that. And that's an
Like,
extreme-
drugs should be
that's an extreme
legalized.
case.
All drugs should be legalized. In fact, the idea of a legalization should be kind of gone. We should be able to do what we should want to do, but when the idea comes that we're hurting somebody else, that's where we should be able to step in and be
Exactly.
like, whoa.
You're interfering with somebody else's
Right,
pursuit
if
of
if
happiness.
your fucking drug use or your whatever
You are promised
is
life
hurting somebody else,
in this country.
you've got to curb your fucking shit.
in this country, in the initial document that founded our independence. Life,
Bill of Rights, Constitution,
liberty,
Declaration of Independence,
life, liberty,
and the pursuit of happiness. Absolutely.
As long as our governing body does not interfere with the middle one, and as long as you don't interfere with someone's life,
I honestly
or their
don't
ability to
understand
pursue happiness.
the concept of this thing being illegal. Like, the idea of it becoming illegal to begin with means that people are doing it and can do it at their own free will. Free will being the key two words here.
I don't know.
We're getting way crazy with the politicalness.
We've probably gone through this before, but
We even missed your other scene, Dakota.
oh, damn it!
Let's go back real quick. So we're rewinding a little bit so that we can find and do a little bit of commentary on Dakota's scene. Did you ever meet any of these other people? Did you meet
I
Cheyenne?
met Cheyenne. I went and ran Mike for you guys downtown Reno.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. When we were doing a different movie. So you come in, fight scene, this scene, right here. You come in right here. So Derek comes in, completely different day from when I shot my scenes. So this is like two completely different days. So you come in right here. Dakota takes it in the nuts again. You even mentioned that when we were filming it. You're like, we did this gag before.
Again, my testicles get mutilated every single time that I film.
So street meets pavement. You get shot in the dick.
Yep.
And you die.
Nuts meet pavement.
God salt. You get eviscerated. Your guts come out.
But I was on a toilet.
You're on it. But you died before that. So he like cut your throat and put you on the toilet. And here you come in and you're like, what up, dog?
What's up, dog?
Do you remember that day of filming it all?
Yeah.
So you just came
That
over
was
to
the
Corey's
one
house. That was your
time-
first time to Corey's house.
Yes, that was my first time filming with Derek.
Derek. So essentially it was like me, you, Corey, and Varia. And then this next time it was me, you, Corey, and Derek.
Yep.
So like you barely had any interaction, if not none interaction with any of these people.
Pretty much.
It's so strange because
It is strange.
you've been a huge presence. I mean, but you played the same character in like 3 movies.
Yeah.
But She's Christmas Special, you were Boop. Street Meets Pavement, you were Boop. God
love
Saw, you were Boop.
I just love, like, one of my absolute favorite scenes that I've done was the opener to, not God Salt. No, it was God Salt.
Where you come in and you're talking with Summer and you're doing
Yeah, I'm
the
talking
fucking
to the
pregnant shit.
The pregnant prostitute. So good. So good. Absolutely love that scene.
It was a lot of fun. It was fun going in there and doing that. And then the antithesis to that is like the next time we needed to film with you when you were like hungover and it was really hot outside and we're
dude.
sitting in the car and it's early.
Yeah, that was rough.
And then both of these times it was afternoon. It was both like around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Easy.
Maybe even 6.
The
The only bitch of a thing was probably driving out all the way to fucking Cold Springs to film Corey's house.
I don't mind Cold Springs.
Which I did every day. And
Well,
then
you
from
live
there,
right here. You live.
I
in
live right
Stead.
here, but still, it's a fucking bitch of a drive going to Cold Springs every day. And then it was a bitch of a drive to go out to the fucking shop every fucking day, or whatever.
See, that would be more of a pain in the ass.
I mean, the shop was probably further than Cold Springs, but Cold Springs is still, It's right there, but it's still a fucking drive. It's like going into town and doing
Whatever.
it every day.
I guess I'm just used to like, oh, I need to be at work at 7, so I need to get out of bed and leave
7
the house
in the
at
morning
like
or
6:15.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. And then I've got another one for you, and I honestly hope that the next one works out. So I'm calling this from now until a year from now as pre-production.
Okay.
So like if we can kind of, I write the movie, I perfect the movie, and we can kind of work towards prepping from this July until next July, and then filming the movie.
Yeah.
And like figuring it out. Like one of the biggest things with like Corey is like his wife. She doesn't understand the filmmaking process. And I don't know if Nicole understands the filmmaking process.
No.
Like it takes time to make a movie, and I know it sucks being like, hey, I'm not paying you for your free time to do this. This isn't necessarily a job.
I think that
but the idea is to work towards this being your job. Or my job, at
the
least.
first movie that I did with you guys was Patriot Zombie.
Yes.
And
At that time, you were working at Sports Authority?
yes.
I mean, and the only thing that makes this not quite like a job is that, like, we're all friends, and it's kind of like, I would kind of be hanging out with you at this time anyways, not necessarily, but maybe.
What wowed me, and again, Patriot Zombie was like, hey, we have all this footage, and like a bunch of shit fell through, and like let's make something of it. Like just having that end product.
What it was is
so
like, we're
cool.
not going to be able to finish the movie,
Exactly.
and then let's make something of it.
Exactly, and that whole attitude, I fell in love with the process. I fell in love with doing this, and I think that
I enjoy
when I
having
was-
you on my movie sets, Dakota, because I enjoy having you around. Like, you are one of my best friends, if not probably like my best friend, because like right now I'm thinking it, and it's like you're my oldest friend that I have at the moment, that I see on a regular basis.
yeah,
So you are my oldest friend, Dakota,
and where
and we
I-
haven't even hit 10 years yet.
we're coming up though.
2 years from now,
Yeah,
literally probably like 2 years from like September or something.
yeah,
We'll be like a decade in.
that's.
And
for-
we're
for
still
me,
here
that-
because I don't hold on to friends very well.
Yeah, me either. I tend to burn bridges pretty well. But for me, it's just being part of the process, and the movie making. It really going through that first process and like, oh well, all this fell through, and I was super bummed out, and then going and like filming when we filmed the commentary for Patriot Zombie.
The commentary? You mean the interview?
The interview, yes.
Okay, the interview scenes.
Like yes. Just the fact that was like it was this push to get a final product.
that was a very good push too,
It was super cool.
because
And-
I was able to sit in there and ask you the questions, and you were able to give honest responses, as well as like, oh hey, we're calling this like
yeah, we're
this,
gonna, we're
so
gonna
make
ham
up
it
some fun fucking
Yeah.
shit here,
Ham it
but
up.
also tell us about the real shit.
Yeah.
So you got to have a really nice transition from being like a non-actor kind of to being like a real actor. And that's the thing about Patriot Zombie is that you came in and you blew us away with your first fucking scene. Like, you knew what was up. Not necessarily knew what was up, but you kind of had like this raw, natural talent. I don't think anyone's ever told you that, but you have a nice, raw, natural talent. Like, you can act. And I know that you're not an actor, and you're not necessarily like super Mr. Movie guy like me.
Exactly.
You know, you're like this dumb jock. But you're not
kinda-
dumb. But you're not dumb. But you are a super jock kind of guy.
But you
because-
like personify a dumb jock.
well, if you think about it, like the thing that you like the most is snowboarding.
Yeah.
Outside of like what personal connections you have, like your wife and your daughter now.
Yeah, like if I didn't have any connections to absolutely anybody,
But
I
the
could do something.
but the
till
thing
the
that
day
you
I died, it
is
would be
snowboarding. Absolutely.
hands down.
Absolutely.
I would ride my snowboard every day for the rest of my life,
Absolutely.
however long that may be.
Which is kind of falls under the label
Yeah,
of jock.
I don't know, but
Real
going through
quick,
that-
I know that you've got to go here pretty quick.
yeah, I got a little while.
You got a few minutes.
Yeah.
So I know that we fucking went on some tangents today.
It always does. It's when
Um,
you host a podcast with someone with severe ADD that just fucking happens.
Let me ask you this. When did snowboarding become your thing? When did you first go snowboarding?
I first went snowboarding. I was like 7,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad went out and bought us these like. We hiked up and down a sled hill.
In
on
the
these-
snow, I'm assuming.
In the snow, of course, but
Rather than
and we
being
had-
on like a gondola?
yeah, and because
Like
again,
you could have been on a
dude,
gondola?
At this time, we were living out in the trailer park, Skyline Mobile Home Park.
Yep.
In Golden Valley.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, shit, I was 20. He was 24.
So
Like-
you were like 14.
No, I was 7.
I thought you were 10 years. What's your difference between you and your dad?
17 years.
17 years. So like me and my mom is like 14.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Dude. It's like your mom's like a friend at that point. Like, I don't know. I'm super.
It's
good
so
friends with my
close,
dad.
dude. It's so
But,
much closer. Because I remember you were talking about like, you remember when your dad turned 28 and you were like 10.
Dude, yeah. Oh no, I was 28.
You were like, I remember you saying you were like 10. So anyways,
yeah.
going back, your dad's like, let's go hiking up the mountain and go snowboarding?
He got us these little like. They were all plastic. They didn't have metal edges, and it was like a couple rubber straps. He bought them at Walmart for like $20 a piece.
Snowboards.
Like
Walmart snowboards.
it's basically like a sled with foot straps.
Okay.
And my brother and I absolutely loved it. And my dad always had a deal, and he was amazing about this. Anything that I wanted to get into, he would buy me my first setup, like first setup, and then it was on me to kind of to keep
Did
it
he
going.
say this to you?
Yeah,
He was like, hey,
Oh, you're-
Dakota, if you want to
you wanna
join
get into-
fucking Pop Warner.
yeah, and he always paid for Pop Warner. That was kind of his thing. He liked football.
Well, it's not like you had a job.
That's true, but I always found a way to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Like go out and do things for people, and
Sure.
pick up dog shit, mow lawns.
Sure.
But snowboarding was like always a big thing for me. And then I discovered girls at about 14, and it was like all of my
He's like,
money
your
goes
first hooker.
No, all of my money goes toward like buying myself a car and hanging out with my friends
to
and
be able
other
to take
things
girls
became
out,
important.
dates,
Yeah.
dinner, movies.
And then
gifts.
when I graduated from high school, I just wanted to go and snowboard a lot more, like a lot more than I had for.
Let me ask you
the
this.
past several years. And
Have
then-
you taken any chicks snowboarding as kind of like a date thing?
A couple.
Can you talk about it here?
Yes.
Does Nicole listen to these?
Yes.
Has she really? Has she
A few
really
of
listened to
them,
these?
Yeah.
Has she said anything like, hey?
Yeah.
Has she really?
Yeah. But
Did you take her snowboarding?
that was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Like fucking pulling
Dude.
teeth?
So I've got a deal. I am here to help you learn, and I have no problem like falling leaf down the hill, and I'm a very proficient
As long
snowboarder.
as whatever it takes.
As long as whatever it takes. The instant that you start crying, I leave, and it takes me about.
So you
4
said no
minutes.
bullshit.
No bullshit. It takes me about 4 minutes.
You
to
being
ride
the pro.
to get to. I'm not a pro, but
Pro
to-
enough.
to get to the bottom of the hill, ride the chairlift up, and then make a lap and come back to where you are. Takes me about. We were at Mount Rose. I've ridden there a whole bunch. About 4 minutes. So Nicole eats shit. It's like, okay, like you gotta keep that
This
downhill
is your
edge.
first winter together, or
No, this was like our second or third.
okay,
We were living together at this point.
okay,
So this was the third.
okay.
But so she's on her heel edge, and I'm standing holding her hands. Like, okay, so this is like, feel the edge. You're gonna move this way. You're gonna move this way.
You put her on a snowboard.
On a snowboard.
Okay.
Like, you're not gonna learn how to snowboard not standing on a fucking snowboard.
Well, I mean, like skiing maybe is the other option on a mountain. Like
So she snowboarded once, and what happened was
before you or with you?
No, she. I guess she had gone to like June Mountain for 4-H camp.
I've
when she
never
was, like,
done any
crazy
of this.
You need to go. You will eat shit a whole bunch, and it will be
Real
a great
quick,
time.
real quick. So like, Rose, my wife, what she did, like the first time she went skiing, is I think she went either to go to break, and it like whipped her leg around.
Oh yeah.
So she's done.
Oh yeah, yeah. Skiing can tear you up. You have a different apparatus on each foot and rotational force
And
on
it,
knees.
like,
don't
jerked her fucking leg
Nope.
around, so she's done.
Yeah, totally understandable, man. It's not for everybody, and I'm totally cool with that. But so
Do you have multiple snowboards?
I have.
Okay, so you and
I got
Nicole.
multiple like full gear. I got multiple goggles, helmets. I got more shit than I would ever need to wear. At one
Okay,
time.
okay, so you and Nicole.
So Nicole and I are, I'm holding her hands, and we're like, okay, like cruising along, and she's doing that fine, and then we switch so that she's downhill, so she's now on her toe edge, and I'm standing uphill from her, and like, okay, we're doing this, and everything's great, and then it's time, we do an entire run. It takes like 45 minutes on the bunny hill, which literally I would spend
The
far
novice
more
hill?
time. Yes, I would spend far more time on the chairlift if I were riding by myself than I would riding back to the bottom of the hill. So 45 minutes in, I'm super cool. Hey, you're doing great. Wahoo! This run
Is she
you're gonna be
into it or what?
She
What's
was
her
into
attitude?
it. She was into it at that point. She's like, yeah, I'm snowboarding, cool. I was like, okay, you did great on that run. So now it's time. I'll be right here. I'll be on the hill with you, but you're gonna do this by yourself. She's like, okay, yeah, I got it.
She busts
So,
out a 1080.
She ate shit, dude, right off the chairlift.
So her feet are dangling in
Nope.
the air with the fucking snowboard.
One leg stays in your snowboard binding, and then you release your back foot so you can push yourself on and off the chairlift.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So she goes to stand up, eats shit. They stop the chairlift. Everybody behind her, oh, what the hell? Yeah, it was
What
bad.
the fuck?
Yeah, so I should have known, like, hold her hands this time, dude. Like, we're off to a bad start. So
So you both jump off at the same time is what you're saying, and she fucking eats
yeah,
shit.
I've been on and off a chairlift 400 times.
Sure,
by this point, easily. But
What's your anniversary, you two?
our like dating anniversary is July 9th. Our wedding anniversary is December 18th.
July 9th, what?
7 years ago, so 2007.
Holy
8.
shit. Literally, it's
Wait,
like the
no,
Academy Awards.
2009.
What's your
10?
date? What'd you say your date was?
10.
You're
2010.
dating. You're dating.
July 9th, 2010.
It's gotta be earlier than that, or later than that. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
No, okay,
but
so
because
so
there
here's-
was because the first time I met Nicole was at that Academy Awards party, which would have to
So-
have been in February or March.
So, in late January of that same year, we went on our first actual, like, it wasn't even a date.
So
Realistically,
you met her in
Oh no, I met her way like well before that, like
Okay.
a year before that.
Okay.
And so
This is a great podcast.
they're getting ready for graduation, and they're graduating over the winter
So
semester.
she's still in high school, is what you're saying?
No, she's graduating with her associate's degree.
Okay,
from
okay.
TNCC. So
You don't.
my brother, myself, and a bunch of our friends go out to this big concert that was in town. I actually still have the T-shirt from the concert.
Michael Bolton.
No, that was my first birthday with her. She bought me Michael Bolton tickets because I told her that I love Michael Bolton. Anyways, it was so
I
rad.
remember that from the fucking incident with Casey and Hallie
hell
at
yeah.
Halloween.
But so we. So I get back from the concert and I don't have my shirt on and I'm covered in bruises and I'm all no, quite the opposite. But I'm covered in bruises and like just beat to shit. And we walk in and Kagan's girlfriend at the time, her
It's like 5
downstairs
girlfriends
neighbor,
ago.
her no 2, but her downstairs neighbor is Nicole.
Okay.
So Nicole is graduating with Allie's sister. So they're up partying, having a good time, and we roll up, and I was getting ready to head home. I was just dropping them off, go say hi to Allie, and go say congratulations to her sister. And Nicole is like hammered at this point. She's like, dude, you should give me your phone number. And I was like, here's the deal. I'll give you my phone number.
Nicole's got some
As
epic
long as
fucking
you...
drunkenness.
Oh, good God. White girl wasted.
White girl wasted.
That's a label
Do you
she can
remember
wear.
a going away party when I
Yes.
drank like 5 different kind of alcohols?
You were crawling
And she
on
was
the
like,
floor.
"Man, we're getting fucking white," but she didn't call it white girl wasted. She called it white girl drunk.
But so the deal was, yes, you can have my phone number, but if you call me or text me while you're drunk, no mas. So like
Fuck off.
3 days later, she texts me and she's like, "Hey, I got some friends coming over tonight. You should come hang out." Cool. So I walk in and it's me and 2 other dudes. Yeah. So I'm like,
Welcome to the dating game.
Bachelor number 1. That's so.
Wow. I wouldn't even know what to think. I'd be like, what the fuck?
That's exactly. I was like, you know what, dude? I'm gonna hang out for 20 minutes. Get the fuck out of here. So we're hanging out, and I usually
strange.
forget
Have you
what we were
talked to her
doing.
about this?
Oh yeah. So I like, this is kind of weird. I'm gonna head down to the Calneva and get some $2.99 steak and eggs.
Nice.
That sounds good.
Nice.
So Nicole's like, "Oh my god, that sounds great. Let's go." And then the other 2 guys are, "Oh no, no, dude, I ain't doing that. There's no way." But
Wow.
yeah, dude.
I've never heard this part of the story.
So we go down. We end up getting steak and eggs, and then we got back to her place, and she's like, "You should like come hang out for a while." And we're having like super good conversation, and like, I don't know, it was just really cool. So I go inside and we sit down, we start watching a movie, and we ended up talking throughout the entire movie.
You watched the movie at her place, or you
at
went
her
to
place.
a movie?
At her place.
Okay. What
And
movie?
Zombieland.
Mulholland.
We talked through the entire thing, and the movie ended. We like listened to the DVD menu 40 fucking times, and Nicole gets up and she's like, "Oh my god, we were talking about something like random acts of dumbness."
Right. You
And
were
she's
getting
like, "Oh
to
my
know
god,
each other.
oh my god, I have a window marker." So we walked.
What does that mean?
We walked around her apartment complex.
Like a dry erase marker?
No, like one of the window paint markers.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. I know what you're talking about, but
Like when you're driving along and you
right,
see
if you
like,
go to like
oh,
Porta Subs
Cheer
and they write
Camp
like $2.99.
2017.
Right, no, I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
So she has a window marker. We spend the next hour and a half walking around her apartment complex at 2:30 in the morning, drawing lewd statements and pictures on random people's
Dicks
cars.
and vaginas.
Dicks and vaginas, and like this guy hearts, and then like an arrow, and then like a dick on the next window.
That sounds
Like,
amazing.
it was wonderful. We get back to her place at like 3:30 in the morning, and we sat down and we talked and we laughed. And I remember I was sitting on her couch, and her sliding glass door was across the room, like right past where I'm looking at her.
I'm gonna start crying.
And I watched the sunrise. I watched the sunrise, and I have never been so captivated by one person that I could spend an entire evening talking. And
Of course, I remember all the
nothing
times
happened.
that it says Nicole Vale is single on Facebook.
Dude, there's been rocky points, and,
Sure.
and you spend,
As with every relationship.
you spend 7 years with somebody, and especially we were both super young. It's not like we were in our
Now you're
late
pushing
20s,
30.
early 30s, and we were getting into something where we have some stability ourselves. We were really trying to figure out who we were as people.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
and along with that comes a lot of questioning where you are and where you want to be and the difference between the two, and you don't see existence of one thing while another exists, and you question a lot of those things. One of the biggest things that and dude, this was one of the biggest fights that we ever had, but I genuinely believe that it was one of the best things for me and for our relationship and for everything. Was I went and took acid on my brother's birthday like 3
You've
years
talked
ago.
about that on here
And
before. One of
it
the
was-
previous episodes.
It was one of the most profoundly solidifying things that I've ever been through.
Sure, and I know that your dad's also got a lot of fucking input that's really been positive for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's just a lot that happened that day that solidified everything for me and made me really look at. There are some negatives, but we can address those negatives, and that list is so small compared to all of the positives that she brings to my life. She makes me a better man just being near her, and my want to please her and make her happy and be there for her just expands my horizons of the person that I'm able to be. I fucking love that woman, and I will till the day that I die. I just worry about 10 years from now that she's going to look at me and she's like, I fucking hate this dude and I just can't do it anymore. And she's going to disappear. No.
We never finished your snowboarding story.
Oh, anyways. So she's going free. So we get her strapped in, get her stood up, and like she doesn't even make it past the little barrier fences that like separate the run from the chairlift get off area, and she fucking catches a toe edge face in the snow. And she gets up and she goes, oh god.
I'm sorry.
And I was like, okay, so we sit her down. I was like, okay, so what happened was you touched your toe edge to the snow before you were able to articulate to turn. So what you're doing is why
are you
do
supposed
that
to drop
falling
like
leaf,
full edge, like full flat down?
So you stand on your heel edge, and what you do is why you do the falling leaf where you like kind of push on one side and like start moving downhill, and then you push on the other end and it moves you down the hill the other way.
I'll take your word
because
for it.
you're trying to feel where you can start to flatten out your board, because you don't want to flatten out your board until your nose is starting to point downhill. Oh, there we go. Video. But
sure.
You don't want to do that until your nose starts to point downhill. If you touch that front edge to the snow,
yes.
It catches on the snow and you fucking eat shit, and it does the same thing on the back end.
Sure.
So that's why half the run, here's on your toes. Okay, here's on your heels, and I'm holding her fucking hands so that if I see her starting to do that, I can stop and like push her onto her ass, or stop and pull her onto her stomach so she doesn't get shit whipped downhill. When that happened, she hit the snow the first time, we reset, and she instantly got like super indignant and like, well, you don't fucking know. Dude, that's not what happened. I was doing what you were saying. And
that's
I was like,
all pride,
obviously,
right?
Obviously you were not, because if you were doing what I was saying, you would not have eaten shit in such a glorious fashion. So same thing happens another 15 feet down the hill. Same thing happens another 15 feet down the hill. And she starts to tear up and cry. And I'm standing on my toe edge, and she's sitting directly in front of me.
Okay.
And I just see it, and she like lifts her goggle up and like wipes a tear with her mitten. And I just slide downhill, take off, take a run. And I come back, and she looks uphill, and she was sitting on her ass, like, right in the same spot. And she's like, I fucking dare you do this. And I just kept riding. And I took, like, 3 or 4 laps. And
And she's still on the gondola?
No, she's on her ass because she eats shit. And then we sit her back on her butt. Okay, this is what was going on.
In the snow at the top of the hill?
She's 45 feet from the top of the hill, dude.
Okay.
Like, at the top. So take another lap, and she fucking screaming again, and I just keep going. Take another lap, and like the third one, I was like, hey, you know, you need to calm down. Like, this needs to we just need to relax, and this isn't helping the situation. She goes right back to it. You motherfucker. So I go and I take my 4th lap, and I go down, and she's not in the same spot.
Okay.
Oh my god, look, she got it, woo! And
you think she's fucking like...
I'm kind of scanning across the hill, and right on the edge of the trail, I see her carrying her fucking snowboard, just stomping back to the car, dude.
Oh no.
It was so bad. And we fought for like 2-3 days after that about how unsupportive I am, and how I wasn't there when she needed me, and yeah. Then she learned how to ski. And that was like, okay, you want to learn how to ski? Here's your ski instructor. I'll see you in 2 hours, and then you get to show me all the cool shit that you learned. And I get to go ride powder all morning because it just snowed. This is like it was the best experience ever. Hands down the best experience
So she
ever.
learned how to ski then?
She learned how to ski.
So she skis?
She skis. Why? Because I didn't teach her. And every time that somebody would like come into the ski shop and like, oh dude, I'm getting a rental for my girlfriend, we're gonna go up and teach her, I was like, don't fucking do it. Like, you will break up over this. Don't fucking do it. That was one of the times they like, oh hey, Nicole's single on Facebook apparently. That was one of those times.
It was a snowboarding situation.
Because I was such an unsupportive douchebag in her eyes. And my whole thing, like, dude, we're up on the mountain. This is fucking Disneyland for me. Like, you don't cry at Disneyland. You don't ever cry for any reason whatsoever, because this is the happiest place on earth. Hands down. And she did not like that comment at all.
Well, with that's sequel production for this week.
Whee!
I'm Matt Bonta.
I am Dakota Kimes.